Welcome to Cert Mage. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Today, we are breaking down the ultimate 2026 practical guide for choosing the right PMI certification to really advance your career. If you're looking at the whole project management landscape this year and wondering, should I go for the CAPM or the PMP? Well, you're in exactly the right place. So let's dive right in and clear up this confusion once and for all.
The very first thing we've got to understand is that the CAPM and the PMP, they are not competing certifications. You aren't choosing between Apple and Android here. Instead, you really need to think of these as stepping stones. They're designed for completely different stages of the exact same career path. The CAPM is an entry-level associate credential, while the PMP, well, that's the gold standard for experienced professionals.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, the big PMI decision. Then, the experience gate, followed by CAPM, building foundation, and PMP, proving leadership. After that, we'll look at the CAPM to PMP bridge and wrap up with your final decision.
Section 1. The big PMI decision.
When candidates first look at these two exams, they so often get bogged down comparing the cost or maybe the number of questions. But I want you to consider this insight. These are not competing credentials for the same candidate. They are truly designed for different stages of the same career. The decision you're making isn't about which exam is easier or which one's cheaper. The decision is entirely about career timing. It's about taking a hard look at where you stand right now in your professional journey and choosing the certification that accurately reflects your current level of expertise.
Section 2. The experience gate.
Listen, if you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please make it this next point. This single factor will instantly make the decision for the vast majority of you watching. Here is the absolutely critical question you need to answer today. Do you have 36 to 60 months of documented project leadership experience? To even sit for the PMP, PMI requires 36 months of experience if you have a bachelor's degree or 60 months if you don't. And here's the real kicker. This has to be actual leadership and decision-making experience from the past 10 years. Just being a participant on a project team, unfortunately, that doesn't count.
Now, this experience gate instantly splits the room. If you do not meet that 36 to 60-month leadership requirement today, your path is the CAPM. It's perfect for beginners, career changers, and recent grads. But if you already meet that experience requirement, taking the CAPM is honestly just a detour. You have almost nothing to gain from it, and you should be going straight for the PMP.
Section 3. CAPM. Building your foundation.
So if you're taking the foundation path, let's look at the logistical realities of the CAPM exam. While it is an entry-level credential, do not mistake it for an easy pass. It's a genuinely challenging, 3-hour exam packed with 150 questions. The focus here is heavily on conceptual knowledge, and we see most candidates spending a solid 4 to 8 weeks studying for it. For PMI members, the exam fee is a very reasonable $225. And just keep in mind, to maintain this as an active credential, you'll eventually need to earn professional development units over a 3-year renewal cycle.
But what exactly are you studying for those 4 to 8 weeks? Well, the modern 2026 CAPM tests foundational terminology and frameworks. It is heavily based on the PMBOK guide and requires a deep understanding of core concepts. You're going to need to know predictive waterfall methodologies, agile frameworks like Scrum and Kanban, and business analysis. You basically need to know the definitions and the processes inside and out. It's all about building that rock-solid foundation.
Section 4. PMP, proving your leadership. For those of you who have confidently passed that experience gate and are ready to validate your senior-level expertise, you'll find the PMP is a totally different beast from the CAPM. This 180-question exam is not just testing definitions, it heavily tests applied judgment. Most of the questions are scenario-heavy. They'll present a messy workplace situation and ask what a project manager should do next. It's broken down into process at 50%, people, which covers all that tricky leadership and conflict resolution stuff, at 42%, and business environment at 8%. There is rarely one obviously correct answer. It's testing your instincts, the ones shaped by real-world experience.
And I've got a massive alert for anyone taking the PMP this year. The July 2026 exam update incorporated the PMBOK Guide 8th edition. This includes brand new content on AI and project management, sustainability practices, and updated value delivery frameworks. Please make absolutely sure you're using updated 2026 study materials. And note, this update only affects the PMP. The CAPM is completely unaffected by this specific change.
Now, you might be wondering why put yourself through the rigorous PMP exam at all. The financial impact is staggering. While the average U.S. salary for a CAPM holder is a very respectable $66,000, the median salary for a PMP jumps to an incredible $135,000. That is literally more than double. This perfectly illustrates exactly why gaining that hands-on project leadership experience is so incredibly valuable.
To put that into a global perspective, PMI's Earning Power Survey reports a massive 33% median salary premium for PMP holders compared to their non-certified peers. The CAPM just doesn't produce a comparable survey-documented premium, mostly because it's meant to be a stepping stone. The PMP, on the other hand, that is a true career-defining credential.
Section 5. The CAPM to PMP Bridge. So what if you're starting at the bottom right now, but you have your sights set on that $135,000 PMP salary? Well, there's a highly strategic roadmap for you. Step 1. You pass the CAPM to get your foot in the door and land a project team role. Step 2. While you're working, you focus on accumulating that crucial 36 to 60 months of leadership experience. Now here is where the magic happens in Step 3. Your CAPM is valid for 5 years. If you apply for the PMP while your CAPM is still active, PMI completely waives the PMP's 35 contact hour education requirement. Then, Step 4, you just pass the PMP.
The financial impact of this bridge strategy? It's massive. By using your active CAPM to waive that PMP 35-hour training requirement, you eliminate the need to pay for a separate PMP prep course from an authorized training partner. Those courses typically cost anywhere from $800 to $2,500. So taking the CAPM first isn't just a great educational stepping stone, it is a massive financial hack if you plan to eventually get your PMP.
Section 6. Final decision and next steps.
Let's establish your definitive decision matrix for 2026. If your current situation is less than 36 months of leadership experience, or maybe you're a career changer, a recent graduate, or a team member looking to build toward a project manager role, your right choice is clearly the CAPM. Go build that foundation. However, if you already meet that 36 or 60-month experience requirement, do not take the detour. Your right choice is to apply for the PMP directly. So I want to leave you with this final, vital question to ask yourself right now. Which certification path aligns perfectly with your current project leadership experience? Be really honest with where you're at today, respect the experience gate, and your choice is going to be crystal clear.
Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If this helped clear up your 2026 certification strategy, please hit that subscribe button to join us here at Cert Mage. We're constantly dropping more certification comparisons, deep dive exam guidance, and career-focused study tips to help you succeed. Go out there, choose the right path, and keep pushing your career forward. See you in the next one.